Hey everyone, welcome back to Frontend Weekly. In this episode, we are going deep into one of the most powerful hook in React, useEffect. If you even needed to fetch data, update the DOM, or sync with local storage, this is the hook you'll use. Well, compare it to old class-based lifecycle methods and show how useEffect replaces them all in cleaner way. So let's do it. And what is useEffect? UseEffect is a React hook that lets you perform side effects in your functional components. But what is its side effect? Anything outside the render cycle, like fetching data, subscribing to events, changing the DOM, setting timers, reading or writing the local storage. In class component, we use lifecycle methods like um, componentDidMount, componentDidUpdate, and componentWillUnmount. UseEffect replace all of them. So let's try and see how it's work. Yeah, uh, it's basic usage. Yeah, by default, this runs after every render. That's often not what you want. Yeah, really. So you usually pass a second argument of useEffect a dependency array. And how it's work? Let's try to do something. For example, console log run only one time. Yeah, time. Let's check console. Yeah, and this not work like component did mount. What else we can do with use effect? Currently, if we delete dependency array, it will be work every render. It's rarely used really. So if we add empty array, it will be like component did mount. For example, we can use it for API fetch unload. It will be work only one time we where we have initial render. So if we add some dependencies for this array, for example, some count or some state, it will be like component did update. For example, react to specific state. And component will unmount, for example, for event listeners, for timers, we should return some value. Yeah, we can return some function and etc. Yeah, so let's do something. For example, in useEffect, we can fetch some data. Yeah, for example, we have some state, useState const some data, set data, yeah, use state. If for example, let's put it null as initial value, and we can fetch something. Yeah, here fetch, for example, https. It's just example, but we can do like then let's use some chains res json, and the next we can put our data to our set state. Yeah, to our set data. So it's a basic usage when you need to load some information for your first visualization of your component. Yeah, so when your component will be ready and fetch some information, you can display some data here. Yeah, or add, for example, one more state with loading, like loading, set loading, initial state it false. For example, on start set loading true, and here we can set loading false. Yeah, false. Yeah, and check like this. If loading, loading. Yeah, you can use it something like this. Next example, listen to some events. For example, let's do it with window resizing. Yeah, for example, const handle resize. It will be arrow function, and console log window resize it. Yeah, something like that. And if we wanna we just need to use this function resize event and add our function. And if we need to use component willUnmount, as I said, we should return something. Yeah, it will be like return, yeah, and window remove event listener. We can copy this information. Oh my god, remove event listener. So let's check how it will work. Yeah, it's working fine. And when we leave this component, useEffect calls this function and remove event listener. And what else? Let's add some counter, for example. Yeah, count, set count 0, for example. Yeah, and add some button click count times, and here we need, for example, put our value, our counts to local storage. So local storage set item count, and value is count. And if we wanna, yeah, count, yeah, if we wanna, let's add on click, yeah, set count +1, yeah. And if we wanna put count when we update our state, we should add count to our array of dependencies. So it will be like this. So let's check how it works. Go to application, local storage, yeah. Oh, yeah, local storage, yeah. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we call set count, when we click, we call set count, please add 1 to our count. Yeah, count was changed, but in useEffect we have count in our array of dependencies, and every time when we change our count, we put new value to local storage. Yeah, it's a basic, but it's you need it. Yeah, I understand. You will have a lot of tasks related useEffect. You need to update something in your state, in your components, and you should use effect. Yeah, or user do something on page, click load data, for example, yeah, and we should make some calculations, something like that. You can use useEffect for it. It's a very good solution. So let's check common mistakes. Yeah. For example, if we missed this array, it's a bad practice, I think, because it will be runs every time, probably not what you want. Yeah, really. For example, let's check log 1. For example, click, click, click. But we have not here some dips, for example, count, but it calls every time. For example, let's add some 3 buttons. Yeah, it will be working every time. It's a very bad practice. Don't forget about dependency array. Next error, it's for example, console, for example, count. Yeah, and didn't we didn't include some prop in dips. For example, count is this value. Yeah, for example, where we try use local storage for it, let's try to do it. Check. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, because we really forget add count. Should be like this. And one more important thing at creating infinity loop. Yeah, for example, we want to do some calculation in our local or in our use effect. For example, set count, and we want to increment our account. Yeah, and it will be very very big mistake, because we're updating count, which triggers render, which runs use effect again, and boom, it will be infinity loops. Yeah, uh, I want to try do it. So let's check our console. Yeah, we have error, because it's called every time, every time, every time, plus one, plus one, plus one, and it's infinity loop. It's very very bad. So don't forget about it. Yeah. Okay. Why not just use class components before hooks? Before hooks, we had to do like componentDidMount. Like previously, we don't have functional components. It was just class, like this, and we do something in every this method. Yeah, and now use effect, with use effect we can do all this in one place. Yeah, it's really comfortable. Functional component is better solution for React, I think, and it's more comfortable. So let's have some conclusion. So to summarize, use effect lets you handle side effects in React. You control when it runs using the dependency array. Yeah. Uh, you can clean up with the return function. Yeah. We had example with resizing the window. We return some function and remove event listener. Yeah, and it replaces 3-class based lifecycle method with a single hook. Yeah, it's really really important and a very good hook for React. In the next video, we'll build a real project with combines use state, use effect, and even use ref. Maybe we'll touch use memo or something like this. Don't forget to subscribe to Frontend Weekly. Drop a comment. I see you next time. Bye bye.